There being a hell is not bad news to me. If there being a hell is bad news to you, it is because you are still on the road there. The good news is not that it doesn't exist. The good news is I ain't going anymore, because he said, I will take on the sin of the world. And he hung naked between heaven and earth and let them beat the bloody crap out of him so I could live forever and ever in the light of his goodness and glory. Man, oh, stop it. Now listen to this. The most dangerous thing you can do in life is not think right about God. Most dangerous thing you can do in life is not think right about God. Watch this. This is important. I like this. When the Holy Spirit showed me this, I got kind of fired up. Go to Matthew 26, or you don't have to. They'll put it up on the screen. Can you guys put up Matthew 26:14? I know I'm going to kind of jump these out of order. I hope they warned you about that. There we go. Perfect. Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priest. What's the next verse? And said, what are you willing to give me if I deliver him to you? They counted him out 30 pieces of silver. Notice that he goes to the chief priest and asks, what will you give me if I give up him? What we did when we said grow at any cost is we said, what will you give us if we back off of him? Do you know that leading church growth experts are telling pastors to do away with altar calls? Am I telling the truth for some of my buddies that have had to sit through these absolutely retarded church growth meetings that I've had to sit through? I've been kicked out of 2. I stood up in a church growth meeting. I pointed at the guy that was in charge, and I said, you're in danger of hell. Everybody went, ooh. He said, what do you mean? I said, I'd take 5 people getting saved over 5,000 people being entertained any day of the week. If you won't come in one of my meetings, Jack, we gonna tell you Jesus died on the cross. It was a bloody mess, and he took on the curse of sin and death, and you gotta lay down your life. I am not for sale. What will you trade for Jesus? Nothing. What will you trade for Jesus? Nothing. Nothing. I wouldn't take anything for Jesus. Nothing. You got to see sin as your trade-in. When you say, I choose an orgasm over right fellowship with Jesus. What's your 30 pieces of silver? It's just images on a computer. It's your 30 pieces of silver when you say, I choose this over you. Oh, everybody gets excited when we talk about how the church has done it. But how are we doing it? How are we doing it when we, oh, Jesus, Jesus, we love you, Jesus, at church, and then we go to school and we turn into a completely different person? How's that feel, Judas? How's that feel? How's that 30 pieces sound in your pocket? I'm talking to me too, man. I'm talking to me too, but I'm tired of coming to church and the only sound I hear is the rattling of silver. Full of people that want Jesus how they want Jesus and want Jesus to be what they want Jesus to be, but will not take the price tag off of their lives. When you see the real guy, you're not for sale anymore. I'm telling you, listen to me. If you're still for sale, you've seen a religious version, but if you ever see the real guy, you can be around him and not see the real guy. Ask Judas. If he one time, he would open his eyes and quit seeing the way Jesus handled the money. Remember when he gets offended over the woman with the alabaster box and he says this money could have better been used to take care of the poor? Instead of saying, look at him. Look at him. He was looking at her. See, there was his mistake. He was looking at her worship instead of seeing the object of her worship and realizing the difference between me and her is not what I know and what she knows. It's that she's not for sale anymore. She broke her box. She lost her price tag. Why don't y'all worship like we worship? Because we've been bought. That's the bottom line, man. Listen to this. This radical worship is not something that is a secondary consequence of Pentecostal doctrine. Radical worship happens because he wanted me. He saw value in me. He saw such value in me that he bought me when nobody else wanted me. He said, how much is he? How much is Damon? Well, he's going to cost you the life of your son. And the father said, that's expensive. He's worth it. I said, I'm not. I said, I'm not. No, I'm not. You don't know me. Yes, he does. He knows me, and he still said, you're worth it. Jesus, I'm going to need you to go down there. And I'm going to need you to put on flesh. And I'm going to need you to come through the womb of Mary. And I'm going to need you to grow to the age of 30. And then I'm going to need you to heal the sick. And I'm going to need you to cast out devils. And I'm going to need you to walk on water. And I'm going to need you to wipe blindness out of the eyes of people. And then I'm going to need you 3.5 years later to let them tie you to a whipping post. And take a cat of 9 tails. And take pieces of leather that are full of glass and bone and stone. And I want you to let them wrap that cat of 9 tails around your back and pull it with all of their might until your skin hangs like ribbons and your guts are spilling out of your rib cage. Jesus said, well, why would you want me to do that? For him? For him? For him. Yeah, let's do it for him. If you're still for sale, you haven't seen that. If you're still a youth group kid that acts one way in the 9th grade and the other way on Wednesday night, your problem is not that you are adolescent and immature. Your problem is you have seen something less than the real Jesus.